Hello, everyone. Welcome to Three Essential Questions podcast. I am your host, Pam Myers, and I'm here with my wonderful co host, Erica Yoakum. Um, Three Essential Questions podcast is dedicated to amplifying the voices of our business and nonprofit community so that our listeners know who you are, what you do, and why it's important. And our guest today is Phia Smith. Um, Phia, or Sophia, is the executive director of Girls on the Run Rio Grande. Girls on the Run is, if you're not aware, a 501c3. They serve Bernalillo, Valencia, and Sandoval counties, and they're dedicated to inspiring and empowering girls to be confident through all kinds of activities. So, Thea, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to chat.
Tell us. So, I just
Yeah.
kind of gave a brief that didn't even touch upon.
I know, right? Yeah, that's
What,
a lot. Yeah.
right?
You did a perfect job.
Good. To help the listeners, because you have all kinds of things that programs that you do. Help the listeners understand what Girls on the Run Rio Grande does.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Girls on the Run was formed in 1996. We're a national organization, but our local chapter is in those three counties. We've been around since about 2012 in New Mexico. So, if you haven't heard of us yet, I'm excited that you have now. What we do is we partner with elementary schools across the counties, and we run an after school program. It's a 10-week program that we have twice a year. We work with third through fifth grade girls. And I always like to add a little asterisk that girls is non binary, cisgender, and transgender girls in our programs. And we use running as a tool, but our primary function is to empower girls through social emotional learning. So we teach them skills in kindness and confidence and joy and all the big things that we're expected to do as an adult that no one ever gives you a handbook for.
Mhm.
I'm
Wow.
And
biased.
you
It's a
get
lot
them
of
before
fun.
they get to middle school because middle school is
Correct.
like
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty special to watch them form relationships with not only their peers, but we have a body of volunteer coaches, and that could be teachers, parents, community members who just love the mission, and that's actually the majority of them. And so our girls get to see all sorts of people of all gender who are welcome to coach, who show confidence in different ways, right? I mean, we'll have a coach who's a college student, we'll have a stay-at-home mom, we'll have a nurse, we'll have people from all sorts of backgrounds, and they get to see what success could look like for them.
wow.
I love that you embrace and mention specifically that girls are not just females, but also non-binary and trans as well. So
Absolutely.
thank you for
Yeah,
that.
I think it's important to highlight right now. And we don't talk about what it means to be a girl in the program. So there's no conversations outside of you're welcome here.
Uh-huh. That's
Wow.
fantastic. I love that.
Wow.
And what kind of events that do you do? I mean, there's right. You do running, you do 5Ks, but you
Yeah.
do so much more than that as well.
Gun to my head, I couldn't run a 5K. So I'm
You
impressed with
could
these.
though. You
Okay.
could. I mean, we have 8-year-olds out there running. I believe in you to do this. So, if for our after school program, right, they're training those 10 weeks, and training is a very strong word for what we're
Yeah.
doing. We're playing a lot of fun games. We are running laps. I mean, our girls get to set goals and they get to see, like, oh, this week I'm running 27 laps and, around their school. And we talk about what it means to move your happy pace, which is a pace that's comfortable for your body, which could change every hour, really. Like, my coffee is worn off. My happy pace is a lot slower than it would have been 2 hours ago. And, embracing what that means and, translating happy pace into your life. It's not just about running, right? It's about everything you're doing. Rest is important and acknowledging what you need is important and all those wonderful things. So as they're doing this intense training for 10 weeks, they end it with a 5K. So all of our girls program wide participate in the same non-competitive 5K. This is really just a celebration of movement. We open it up to the community because we have all sorts of friends and families and community members who want to come out and support our girls. It's just a day of joy and glitter. And, I volunteer one of my coaches to wear this giant inflatable unicorn, and it's just a lot of fun for everyone. The unicorns probably needs to get cut because it's so hot in that suit. We can't do it anymore. It's getting too hot, but
Oh,
it is pretty cute, and the girls have a blast.
Oh my
I
God.
We've also
bet.
done we isn't I know. So those are our 2. We have a fall and spring 5K. We like to
Mhm.
create events throughout the year just to engage our participants. Just a few weeks ago, which I keep thinking it was last weekend, but I think we're almost at a month out. But on June 14th, that's like ooh. But we
Right.
had a 5K, 10K to fundraise for scholarships for our fall program. It was called our Sunnyside Fun Run. It was sponsored by Sunny 505 and Sunward
Oh,
Credit Union. And it's wonderful partners. We had all sorts of fun people out there like Creamland Dairy, and they brought Arabelle out to be our mile marker for our kids. And I know, right? Running to a cow, you could do that. We
Right.
had chocolate milk at the end. We had like a masseuse out there, all sorts of just fun, silly things to engage our community, to bring awareness about what we're doing. And then all the funds raised will help pay for our program in the fall.
Now you
wow.
said something that just makes me want to ask a question about. You said
Yeah.
if they might be running around their school, so the trainings that they don't all show up at a headquarter location to do their training. It could be at different locations. Can you help us understand that?
Yeah. So we partner with elementary schools. So every school that is partnering and
Hmm.
hosts the after school program has it there. So we
Wow.
have them across the city. We aren't able to have a program at every school at this moment in time. But if you're a girl who's homeschooled or who's at a school who doesn't have a program, if you're able to get transportation, you can go to other schools' programs. You're welcome into there. So we'll have it. I mean, a lot of our schools have parks right by them, so we're able to do it at the park. But then, we have some schools that are just running a small dirt circle, but they bring so much joy and energy that, it never gets boring because we're laughing and, we're doing all sorts of strange dance moves. And my favorite moments coaching is when we're running circles and the girls are trying to educate me about Taylor Swift, and they're singing all her songs, and we're just running laps, and they're doing karaoke the entire time. Like, how are they not out of breath? I don't understand, but it's
Right.
impressive. Yeah.
Youth.
Yes, that is impressive. Yeah.
True. Yeah,
Yeah.
right? That's the intense training we do at Girls on the Run.
So this I'm wrapping my brain around this. So this
Yeah.
teaching them all these cool things is happening while they're running, or do you stop and do things too besides Taylor Swift songs? But which I think that
I
would be
mean,
awesome,
that's
right?
the
A whole
primary.
troop of girls like all singing a Taylor Swift song would be great. Oh,
Right.
It's pretty magical. Yeah. So we have a curriculum that's really intentionally designed by our headquarters, and we research and update we just had a new version released based on the needs of the girl post pandemic, right? And we're focusing a lot on social anxiety. We're seeing that has skyrocketed since the pandemic. And, a lot of it has to do with social media, and a lot of it has to do with the isolation. I mean, between 2019 and 2020, we saw 31% increase in mental health related visits to the ER for the ages that we serve, which is 8 to 11. And that is jarring. So, this
mm.
curriculum is beautiful, and I should have put one on my desk, but I don't want you to see my pajama pants if I stand up. But they are. Every single lesson is structured in the same way. So we have a warm up, and that introduction is going to be it could be a discussion about what the theme is. It could be a little game to get everyone. We call it getting on board, right? And we're gonna hint at what we're gonna do for the day. We'll talk a little bit about what we learned last week, and then our girls will head outside and we'll do our stretches, so we're ready to move. And then whatever our workout is, and whatever that warm up workout circuit is going to incorporate whatever the theme is. So Girls on the Run is a lot more HQ, is a lot more clever than I am, and they're able to create these workouts that are enjoyable for kids. I mean, some of my favorites are positive self-talk and all bodies rock and feel your feelings. And we have all sorts of silly games around those. I think my favorite activity we do is we're talking about building community, and our girls run their lap, and at the end of every lap each girl has a journal and they get to just write something anonymous and positive about their teammate, and just the joy that is shown on the faces when the girls read through their journals about all the kind things their team members think about them. And I think the sweetest moment I had with that activity is one of my girls came up to me and asked if she could write something in her own journal. I was like, oh my god, absolutely. Like, you're getting it. This positive self-talk is really, it's sticking, and that made me very happy as a coach. And then once they're done with their workout for the day, we do reflection in their journal. So there's a center page we call their toolbox, and that's where they get to write or draw something that they learned from the day. So each of those lessons have a different theme, but they do build on each other. So our
Nice.
theme upcoming for this fall is Hello Superstar. So it's all about your inner self-confidence. Back in the spring, many, many moons ago, we did Hello Mountain Mover, which is all about the power to do hard things. It's our power to move
Mm.
mountains. Yeah. Hopefully
Mm.
that clears it up. It can be complicated, but once you're in it, you're like,
No,
oh, I
that's
totally get
amazing.
this. Yeah.
I could have used that so at 11 years old, I was 5'9". So by
Oh,
far
wow.
the
You could
tallest
have used, yeah.
in my class, and that was tough. It being other
Yeah.
in any way is really tough. So
Right.
it's awesome if you can get if you reading
Totally.
positive stuff like that would have been like miraculous. So
Right.
that's really amazing that you're doing that. That's tough. That's a
And
tough
just,
age. Oh, it's so brutal. Ugh.
it's
Yes.
so hard. And
Mhm.
right now we're seeing 95% of fifth grade girls in this study that was done have social media. I'm not in fifth
I
grade and
know.
I don't have personal social media because I can't handle it. I don't want to see that.
Right.
So being
Mm.
able to have a place where phones are not allowed, we're truly just focusing on connecting with ourselves and our teammates and these awesome volunteers has been very special to witness and to be a part of.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, no social media. I am glad that I'm sure Pam will concur that I grew up before a time of social media because some of the stupid
Mhm.
shenanigans I got up to aren't permanently online.
You
Yeah.
don't totally.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. I can't imagine being a
You
kid now I mean, it's hard enough being a kid, never mind with social media
Wow.
driving
mhm.
so
And
much.
the conversation that, yeah, I had my kids are in their 20s now, but the conversations we had are like, social media is forever. I mean, not social media, on
Mhm.
internet is forever. It's not written in
Yeah.
pencil, it's written in permanent ink.
Right.
So you just, that's tough to
It is.
face
Yeah.
and think through, at that age. Yeah. And everything is, I remember everything is their emotions are so big.
Mhm.
Everything
Mhm.
is earth-shattering,
It's
life-changing,
Yep.
who likes who and who's talking to who and who's not talking to who and all of that.
mhm.
So, yeah, having a beacon of positivity, that's really cool. That's a
It is.
really cool
Yeah,
thing.
and being able to have those honest conversations. We train our coaches and we say, the curriculum is there again as a tool for you. We want you to stay as close to it as possible because it's really well done. But, if your girl is having a situation and she just needs someone safe to talk to, or your kids, it's Halloween and they had a ridiculous amount of candy and they're not listening, go play on the playground. Like, they're going to be safe and taken care of for that hour and a half you are together. That's totally fine with me.
Mhm.
There's so many different stressors that they're experiencing that we understand from our age and our perspective, but to have that really young mind, I could not imagine having to be in elementary school right now.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
very different. Yeah, it's very, very different from back in the day when I was in elementary
Mhm.
school.
Way
But
back
yeah, the
when.
pressures are, I mean, it felt like a lot of pressure for me, but then you add this layer
Yeah.
of onlineness and social media and then the pandemic. I can't even imagine. Well, I was a
Yeah.
latchkey kid. I would have been probably fairly okay because I was alone a lot of the time anyway, but it would have been, how do
Yeah.
you getting school done and all of that. And yeah, wow.
Now that sounds, feel like it takes a lot of
Yeah,
volunteers.
that's what I was going to say. In
Right?
every school, that's like, wow.
My volunteers are amazing. There would be no program without them. We actually just opened up coach applications today, funny enough. If
Okay.
anyone listening wants to be a coach, we have head coaches and assistant coaches. We provide all the materials and all the training. And our seasons are those 10 weeks. And then our coaches, the head coaches commit to 2 days a week, and the assistants commit to one. And we have practice times from we have our earliest is going to be 7:30 in the morning, and our latest starts at 4 p.m. And we're all across the city. So definitely on our website and our social media, all of that is posted. I am impressed and amazed by these coaches every day, and I get to do site visits, and I try to do them, or even sub coaching, and truly am in awe. And it's special when we see our college students, it's finals week and they're still out there leading our girls with such joy and such light. Or we'll have a stay-at-home mom who comes out and, she's able to take off the mom hat and put on the coach hat, and watching that dynamic is really cool. And we have a retired pediatric nurse who's one of my dear friends who is coaching, and she is incredibly kind and inspiring. And because of that connection, she actually started talking to the school about working there, and then brought her and her daughter to their career fair to talk about what a career in nursing could look like for these kids. So it's been really amazing to watch this group. And we'll have, depending on the size of our season, we'll have anywhere from 20 to 80 some volunteers every season. So it's a lot of work, but it's
Wow.
truly
Yeah, that's
so
a
much
lot of
fun.
coordination. Yeah, good
Yeah.
job.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
I
Now,
couldn't do it without them.
right, because it's the what the backbone of your organization, pretty much.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What about? I have one last question before we let you go. What about
Yeah.
funding? So this is free to the children that participate, correct?
So we do have a fee associated with our program because we
Okay.
have to, pay insurance and pay to be at
Oh,
schools and
right.
all that good
Insurance.
stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I know. However, so it's 165 for a 10 weeks, but we have I have lovingly called our no questions asked scholarship policy. So when
Mm-hmm.
you're registering, you could pay anywhere from $0 to $165, no questions asked. So the
Oh.
majority of our students, 65% of our students last season were on full scholarship.
Mm-hmm.
Another 15 were on partial, and then the rest paid. So it is very well loved and used.
And so donations are probably pretty important then.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. I mean, we have a lot of incredible community business like partners in town. The businesses in town have been fabulous, but individual donors, we have our sponsor a girl program, so 165 each season, and you get to cover a girl's cost to be in the program, which is really cool. Businesses can sponsor a team. We have several who like to adopt a team, and they can come out and meet the girls. And sometimes they'll want to provide extra snacks and or cute water bottles for their girls, and those teams just get a benefit from that. So what could be better?
Right?
Right.
Right.
Love it.
Yeah.
Right. Team T-shirts, with the business name on
Totally.
them.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
And
I'm
we
gonna put the website
provide
up again. So that's the Girls on the
thanks.
Run riogrande.org.
Yes. You can
Absolutely. And that
sponsor.
donation will go towards the 165 covers their registration fee, which includes a water bottle, their shirt, all the materials required for the season. And then we provide running clothes and shoes for girls who need them. So a
Wow.
lot of our girls. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
All right.
Very
So businesses can sponsor a team, individuals can sponsor a girl or multiple children if they
Absolutely.
would like, and or
Yeah.
just make a donation would be wonderful. So thank you, Fia, for all
absolutely.
the great work your organization is doing.
That's
Thank
amazing.
you
I
both.
love
And
yeah.
thanks for having me.
So, well,
Yeah.
it's always so much fun because Pam always finds finds all the great guests, and she Pam does all amazing work by the way. And
It
so I
seems
get to
that
sit here
way.
and go, really? There's a thing like that here? That is so cool.
Yeah.
Well, Erica, I'm excited to see you at our next 5K. You
No,
could start training with our girls.
so I used to I would start running because that I like running, but I would start running and I would get slower. turns out I needed a total hip replacement. So
Ah.
that would be why I would, because I'd be like
You can-
running and I'm in pain and I'm like, this doesn't make sense. You're supposed
I
to
wonder
like,
why. Yep.
yeah, yeah,
Mm.
yeah. But now I could probably, I don't run because I'm like one of those, like if you don't use it, then you don't have to have it replaced as soon. So I'm like,
Totally.
I'm saving
You know
up.
what?
I
You're
have
moving your happy
more
pace.
BS excuses should you need them. But
I appreciate it. Mm.
Phia, thank you so much for being a guest. And don't worry about, I love that you have your little puppy behind you.
My assistant. He really wants to be in the shot.
Right?
he's
Yeah.
trying his best. He is a big selling point. People tend to like him more than me.
and the other one just went in the cage, laid down, and said, "I'm done."
Yes, it's
Yeah.
not even her crate. It's just where she takes a break from all of us. The door is totally open, but if she's in there, we can't join her in there, and that's what
Everyone needs that spot.
That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
totally.
Yes. Thanks everyone for listening. Please keep listening and supporting these podcasts. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Phia.
Thank you guys. Bye.